Hey guys, I know I'm late to give out my WWE Elimination Chamber 2015 review, but I figured better late than never, and I wanted to give out my thoughts and opinions on Elimination Chamber this year. So, yeah guys, I'm just going to get right into my review, and I hope you enjoy. So, normally I do not watch any kickoff stuff for WWE. I usually do not watch any pre-show stuff because I just don't care to see it. But for once, I watched part of the pre-show, which was The Miz on Miz TV interviewing Daniel Bryan, and pretty much Daniel Bryan just said that his career isn't over and that he will be back and that he has a new book out July 21st called Yes, My Improbable Journey to WrestleMania or something like that. So I might check that out. I don't know. I think Daniel Bryan also had a DVD coming out, so I might check out that. But anyway, so there was that, and then Daniel Bryan says the fans are tired of listening to The Miz because The Miz was trying to give Daniel Bryan advice for Hollywood and all that stuff, but everybody was getting tired of it, including Daniel Bryan, so he says the fans are tired of listening to The Miz, and he calls Miz TV boring, and then he pretty much just has Macho Mandow and Axelmania attack The Miz, and after that, I just didn't care to see it anymore. I mean, the interview with Daniel Bryan was interesting, but then once Macho Mandow and Axelmania came out, I just didn't really give a shit. Seriously, I just don't know what they're doing with Damien Sandow. I mean, really, just bring back his old gimmick. Not the shit he's doing now. I'm talking about the Damien Sandow of old, where he had the robe. And so, I mean, I miss that Damien Sandow. Even if it didn't get like the best crowd reactions, that was a character that was interesting. This one, I just don't give a shit about him or Curtis Axel. I mean, really. Yeah, and yeah, after that I just didn't give a shit, and yeah. Then we have the actual pay-per-view, and we have the WWE Tag Team Elimination Chamber match to kick off the pay-per-view, and it was interesting for this pay-per-view because I have never seen tag teams fight in the Elimination Chamber like that before. It was kind of a clusterfuck at times, and there was just too many people in the chamber sometimes, or with some of the spots, but I will say, though, the spot of Kalisto from the Lucha Dragons, he basically climbed. I mean, I've seen people climb on top of the pods for Elimination Chambers matches, but I've never seen him climb to the middle of the cage and then jump and then fall down on like a pile of people. That was crazy to see. So yeah, basically the spot of Kalisto jumping from the middle of the cage down on everyone was crazy to see. But other than that, though, the New Day retained. It was an okay Elimination Chamber match to start off the pay-per-view. Then we have the Divas Championship Triple Threat match, Nikki Bella versus Paige versus Naomi. Nikki Bella retained. It was a decent match, but the crowd did not give a damn. I mean, that's the thing about this crowd. For some of the pay-per-view, this crowd would not make a sound. But then for some matches, they would finally start cheering, they would start making noise. So the crowd was half okay, half boring, or, well, not boring, but they were half good, half bad, I would say, for this pay-per-view. Like, there were some spots, I mean, I don't blame them, because, I mean, obviously it's not, I'm just saying that, with crowd reactions, it makes the pay-per-views better, more exciting. This one, like I said, half the show the crowd was good, and for the other half, they just were not making much noise at all. Like, for instance, like during this match, they were hardly making a sound at all. So, yeah, the crowd did not give a damn for that Divas Championship match. But now, this is when the crowd finally started to make noise. We had the champion versus champion match. We had the United States champion, John Cena, versus the NXT champion, Kevin Owens. And Kevin Owens won clean. He did not win by cheating or by countout or whatever. Kevin Owens won clean. It was an awesome match. I'm glad that Cena put over Kevin Owens because it would have made no sense for John Cena to win after having Kevin Owens attack him a few weeks ago. I mean, it pretty much would have just made the feud pointless if John Cena already beat Kevin Owens. So I'm glad that John Cena put over Kevin Owens and had Kevin Owens win. And after the match, Kevin Owens got on the mic and says everyone will know who he is now and that he started the fight with John Cena and finished it. and he tells Cena, "Your time is up. My time is now. The champ is here." And that was a great promo by Kevin Owens after the match. So hopefully we'll see more Kevin Owens on Raw besides just NXT. But regardless of that, though, awesome match, and it had lots of back and forths, and yeah, just awesome match, and the crowd really got into that match. Then we had Bo Dallas versus versus Neville, and Neville won. It was an okay match, but I just couldn't really get involved in it too much. Then we had the Intercontinental Championship Elimination Chamber match, and I didn't like King Barrett getting eliminated first. I did not like that at all. To me, they're making Wade Barrett as the King of the Ring look weak right now. And I mean, while I'll admit King Barrett did not need to win the Intercontinental Championship, they need to book King Barrett better. They need to have him win matches. They need to have him feud for the World Heavyweight Championship sometime down the line. But I don't know if WWE will do that or not. I'm just hoping so. But regardless, I did not like King Barrett getting eliminated first. To me, R-Truth or Mark Henry should have been eliminated first, not King Barrett. And that's another thing too. Is I didn't mind Mark Henry being in. I didn't mind Mark Henry being in the Chamber match since Rusev was hurt. But I would have much rather saw Bray Wyatt in the Elimination Chamber match than Mark Henry. I think they should have put Bray Wyatt in the Chamber match. It would have made more sense to me. Regardless, though, I didn't like that. And then I also didn't like the whole Sheamus' pod not opening. I don't know if that was on purpose or not, because Sheamus was able to open up the pod with his Irish chain, his Laoch chain, or whatever the hell it is. So I don't know if Sheamus was just doing that on purpose or what, but I didn't like that whole thing either. I thought that was just stupid, and yeah, I didn't give a shit for that. So anyway, besides all that, Ryback surprisingly won the Intercontinental Championship, and like I said, I'm surprised that Sheamus didn't win. In my preview and predictions, I picked Sheamus to win because of how WWE was booking him. But surprisingly, Ryback won. It was an okay Elimination Chamber match. Congrats to Ryback. And then after the match, Daniel Bryan congratulates Ryback and gives him the Intercontinental Championship. So I don't know what WWE's going to do with Ryback now. Maybe Ryback will feud with Bray Wyatt for the Intercontinental Championship, and then they'll have Bray Wyatt beat Ryback. I don't know. It's kind of odd seeing Ryback as the Intercontinental Championship. To me, Ryback is more of a World Heavyweight Champion than an Intercontinental Champion, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't mind Ryback being the Intercontinental Champion, but I would have much rather seen King Barrett or Sheamus be the Intercontinental Champion. But we'll just have to see on how it goes with Ryback. I do believe this is his first championship he's ever won. So congratulations to Ryback, and hopefully he'll make a good Intercontinental Champion with some good feuds and matches. And then we have the World Heavyweight Championship match between Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. And Dean Ambrose won at first because it was pretty funny. Seth Rollins pushes the referee, or uses him as a shield to block a high-flying move from Dean Ambrose, like a kick or something. I can't remember what it was. So anyway, the referee goes down. Then Dean Ambrose hits his finisher, Dirty Deeds, on Seth Rollins. And then another referee comes down, pins him 1, 2, 3. So technically, Dean Ambrose won, but then the other referee comes into the ring, says that Seth Rollins pushed him into Dean Ambrose. So Dean Ambrose won by disqualification. And since he won by disqualification, he does not become World Heavyweight Champion. So Seth Rollins is still the World Heavyweight Champion. There was all that. And after that, Jamie Noble and Kane and Joey Mercury tried to take the World Heavyweight. They tried to take the world title from Dean Ambrose, but Dean Ambrose starts to fight him back, and then Roman Reigns comes out, and he comes out to help Dean Ambrose, and He does his Superman punches to Seth Rollins and the J&J security, and he does his spear to Kane. So pretty much, and then Dean Ambrose gets on the mic and says he officially won that match, so he's taking the title with him. So Dean Ambrose steals the World Heavyweight Championship and leaves with Roman Reigns following behind him and all that. So anyway, it was a good ending to the match. I liked that it ended in controversy. I liked that, that they're probably going to continue this feud. I don't know if Roman Reigns will ever turn on Dean Ambrose or not, but regardless of that, I liked the ending. I liked Dean Ambrose just stealing the championship from Seth Rollins. I thought that was interesting. So it was a good ending to the match, and it was also a pretty good main event match with lots of back and forths, and so really a pretty good main event match and a good ending. So all in all, the Elimination Chamber was good, but it wasn't great, and it wasn't awesome either. It was just good. It was decent. It was a good pay-per-view, but it wasn't great or awesome to me. I liked the Kevin Owens versus Cena match. I think that was match of the night. The WWE Tag Team Elimination Chamber match was interesting, but I would have preferred if it was just like a regular tag team match. But I would have much rather seen the World Heavyweight Championship be defended in the Elimination Chamber than the WWE Tag Team Championship. Same with the Intercontinental Championship. But since they only have one world title now, since they got rid of the World Heavyweight Championship, they just now have the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I know it's kind of hard to explain, but regardless, the Tag Team Championship match was interesting. The World Heavyweight Championship main event match between Rollins and Ambrose was good. And the Intercontinental Championship Elimination Chamber match was alright. But to me, it could have been better. They could have had... To me, it would have been better if King Barrett did not get eliminated first, and if they had better participants, and if they didn't have the whole Sheamus either purposely or accidentally getting locked in the chamber. I don't know. But I could have done without all that shit. But anyway, so yeah, it could have been better. And to me, I prefer the Elimination Chamber to be in February on the road to WrestleMania. I think that's a great spot for the Elimination Chamber, because you go for the Royal Rumble in January, then you have to fight like hell through the Elimination Chamber, and then you go on to main event WrestleMania. I like that better than Fastlane. If anything, put Fastlane in the summer before Money in the Bank, because you're going fast. You're going in the fast lane towards Money in the Bank, towards winning the briefcase. I don't know. I mean, I guess Fastlane also works for WrestleMania, but to me, I just always like the Elimination Chamber in February. I think that's a great spot for it on the road to WrestleMania. And, I would just rather have that on the road to WrestleMania instead of at the end of May before Money in the Bank in June. So that's just my opinion on that, guys. Overall, out of 10 stars, I'm going to give this pay-per-view a 7.5 out of 10 stars. Hope you guys liked my video. Like my video, comment on my video, guys. Subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later.